Hi, this is Lou, and I'm going to be talking with you about all things Google in this screencast, which is a longer screencast because I'm going to be looking at quite a few different Google applications. As always, I'll be taking a FAB approach. The FAB model of digital resilience takes things in a certain order. We will look at the first principles of each of the Google applications. We will establish a purpose for them. I'll share my purpose. You would have to find your own purpose. A little bit about getting support around this stuff. And finally, what it means to develop fluency in each of these applications. So here is the standard Google homepage as people think about it. It's actually the homepage of the Google search engine, the most familiar application of Google, and one which I think we're probably all fairly fluent in using. Google as a search engine, it's where it all started, and it's become so ubiquitous that even my 88-year-old mum will say, can you Google that, when she wants to know something about it. So you will know, of course, that what you do is type into the search bar what you want to find. So I'm putting Fab Digital in there to do a search on it. Be as specific as you can be. Remember that once you're logged into Google, and I'll talk you through how to do that in a minute, once you're logged into Google, it knows it's you. If you're on your usual device or computer, it knows it's you. The cookies that are contained within everything you look at on the internet will remember who you are, and it will return searches based on what you've searched for before. So it gets to know you and your preferences. And that's great in that it offers you more specified focus in the results it returns. It's less great in terms of letting diversity and newness into your thinking, because it helps create what you may have heard referred to as a filter bubble, when actually you're just hearing pretty much what you already know, or from angles that you already know about. So let's just search for Fab Digital. If I just put Fab Digital in, I get up digital companies. If I put PD North Fab Digital, PD North is one of the professional exchanges that I'm involved in further education. And I know that I published a blog on their website recently called Opening the Arms. And because I put PD North in, it picks up that blog straight away. So you see how it works to give me what I already know that I'm looking for. It's not giving me anything new there. Let's put Google as a search engine, as a verb, to one side then, the thing that we all know about. What are the other things that Google can offer us? Well, the first thing it can offer is a Google identity, a Google account. And here is my Google account, which is all centered around an email that doesn't look like a Google email, does it? Because I think most of us know that a Google email is what we refer to now as a Gmail. It used to be called Google Mail. It's now a Gmail. But this is my business email, loumycroft@loumycroft.org, and it's actually built on a Google platform. So it is essentially a Gmail. Time was when you needed a Gmail to access all of the apps of Google. That's not the case anymore. You can use your ordinary email, but always stop and think twice. Which email am I using for this work, and why? Are you building up a body of professional resources that belong to you but are tied into an organizational email? Are you scattering things about in all sorts of digital places? Digital hygiene is one of the reasons I use Google. It's part of my purpose for using Google, because it sort of keeps everything in the one place. And I get bewildered when things are all over the place. I'm not particularly a tidy person, but tidiness really helps my thinking process, because as an ADHD identifying person, my thoughts are often scattered far and wide. Google helps everything be in the same place. Up in this right hand corner, you'll be able to see if you're logged in as you. And as you can see, when I first flicked onto this page, I'd slipped into a different Google identity. As part of my nomadic work, I operate different Gmails for all sorts of different projects. So here we are making sure I am me, and that's why it's so helpful to upload a profile picture of yourself. Very simple to do. If you click on that icon that will normally just have your initial, if you put a photo there, then you know at a glance that you are logged in correctly as yourself when you come to use Google. And you don't have that frustration that I sometimes find of, where have all my calendar entries gone? Well, I'm actually logged in as a project, not as myself. A word on photos. First principles, the purpose of putting photos on your professional social media is that people build up a sense of your identity, a sense of who you are. It's really helpful to use the same photo across all your social media for easy recognition. Gets people keyed into who you are. So this is my Google identity. And if I want to toggle between all of the different applications of Google, this is what these 9 squares, this matrix here is what I keep coming back to navigate. I keep clicking on to navigate. I can customize this. So if I wanted YouTube or maps to be up at the top, I can just drag them up there. Here is all that I need to do all of my work. And as Poonam and myself have found out today, really painfully for Poonam, the more work you can keep in the cloud, the better it is if you have a technological fault, your laptop dies, and you've got stuff stuck on the hard drive. Another part of the purpose why I work in Google is that I am storing all of my documents in the cloud. And the cloud is just, it's probably some huge warehouse in California, but it means that all of your information, say for example your CV as a Word document, is stored somewhere where you can access it from any device as long as you know your Google password. So you can log in Google. If you store something onto the Google Drive, which is a storage place, a filing cabinet, then you will be able to access it from any device, including a phone, including a tablet, including any hardwired laptop or a computer PC anywhere in the world, as long as you've got access to the internet and you can log in under your Google account. So that's the Drive. The Drive operates, and I'm showing you my knicker drawer here, which is always a bit embarrassing because it's not as tidy as it could be. But here are all my files, and here it shows me the latest things that I've been working on or looking at in Drive. People can share their drives with me so that I can be part of various project teams and share documents. It's a filing cabinet which we can all access virtually. Within Drives can be spreadsheets or documents or presentations or photographs or music or all of the things that you can store on your computer. I like to actually work within things which are Google Docs. So for example, here are all sorts of things that I'm involved with across different projects and my own writing. So here's an article that I wrote. Here's a journal article and something for intuition, a calendar that someone shared with me, things I'm working on. The joy of being within any Google document is that because it's all happening in the cloud, you can actually be writing alongside someone else. And that's really lovely. So here, for example, in this document, if I was co-writing this, as I often am, I will have gone up to this top right-hand corner where everything happens to share that with a fellow writer, a colleague, and you can actually see them writing alongside you. You can see the words moving. It's so fascinating. I definitely would love to work with some of you in this way. If you feel like blogging, we can co-write stuff together and it would be a joy. I love working collaboratively and writing with different people, and that's why I love Google Docs. There's a version of Google Docs for all of the things you are familiar with in Microsoft Office. So here, Sheets is spreadsheets. Slides is a sort of PowerPoint variety. Forms is interesting. Forms is a sort of Survey Monkey type thing contained within Google. Really quick and easy to put together. And in module 2, if you are listening to this as part of the AP Connect project, you will find a Google form that we've asked you to complete. So you can see how it works. The back room of a Google form is always a spreadsheet. So you collect your data and then you can do with it whatever you want. So slides, forms, sheets, docs can all be contained within Google Drive. Okay. Google also has the normal communication things that we use different platforms for. Meet, used to be called Google Hangouts, is a sort of web conferencing thing like Skype or Zoom. Contacts speaks for itself. We'll leave Google Plus out of the equation because I haven't found a purpose for that yet. So I would be very rubbish really at explaining what it is for you. Sites, chat of course is part of the sort of Meet contact suite. It's just a messaging app like WhatsApp or Messenger. Sites is where you build a website, but again, this is Google, so it can be collaborative. It can be a collaborative website, and I would love to, I'm proposing now that we have an AP Connect writing rooms where people who are interested in blogging or writing can actually not just collaboratively write, but collaboratively edit. But I'll return to that at another time. So if we skip down here, YouTube belongs to Google. So one of the reasons I've really got into using Google is I make these little videos, very homemade, but it's very easy then to be able to transfer them, record on my phone, transfer them to YouTube, all within my Google account, and be my own filmmaker really, and then share them easily into Canvas or into different spaces. Google have a whole photo stream thing. You can set it up to actually download photos from your camera as you're taking them. I think most people probably know about Google Maps as a navigating device. Has other uses, of course. And then Google Calendar, which is very much like your, you might have a calendar on your phone. You might keep your diary on your phone now. One of the things which I learned is it's got to be all or nothing. I made a very painful transition from a paper diary to a phone diary, a Google phone diary on my Google Diary on my iPhone. It took quite a while, but I just don't look back now. I would never look back. Again, as a nomad working for a lot of different organizations, scheduling can be a nightmare. The Google Calendar just makes it easy. And if anybody ever wanted, a separate tutorial on that or any of this stuff, then I will be very happy to help you. I now use my diary as a bullet journal. So I still have a paper, a notebook that I carry around with me that has a very specific purpose, which is not, my day-to-day diary. And then finally, Google Mail, Gmail, it operates as any normal email program does, but you access it via the web. You can have it on your phone, you can pull it in through your Outlook, whatever email platform that you use, or you can just keep using it on the web, which means you can use it across any device really smoothly. So that was a really quick whistle-stop tour around Google. I hope it was helpful. I'm very, very aware that you would probably find this overwhelming if you've not used it before. And sometimes it's just a question of using a little bit at a time. But It took me about 5 years to figure out what Google was and what it did, and I hope that this might have at least mopped up a couple of those years for you.